Yeah, what up, what up, what up? Hope all is well with you guys, man. It's Thoughts of a Predicate Winner back at your head top with some more of this new. And boy, you mess around and take one day off. You mess around on this YouTube stuff and take one day off if you want to. Boy, have I missed out. But that's all right. We're going to catch up. Man. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Thoughts of a Predicate Winner, what it do? Yeah. All right. I've missed out on a lot, I know. But before we even jump into the plot of everything that's been going on over the past 24 hours, I have something that I have to get to. Because I told him I would. I told Jody I would. I told the crew I would. I know that there's some up church out there. Y'all want me to check out the diss. I know that there's some hard target. I know that there's some Playboy something or another. I know. I'm going to get to it. Don't worry. But to start this day off, man, we got to get into this burden, man. True story. I just did Tom's Ashes 2 days ago, I believe. Not yesterday, the day before. And I was blown away by Tom's Ashes, man. That's a really good song. And Burden was all up in that live dissing Tom, saying I'm better. Which, you know, that's how you're supposed to feel. I'm not mad at him for that. I know a lot of the fans were like, how could he? That's how he's supposed to feel, man. He's a rapper. He's a musician. And I've told y'all before that whether y'all realize it or not, even within a subgenre of hip-hop culture, it's still competitive. You can't take that out of the artist, even if the artists pretend like that's not what it is. It is that. That's what drives them. Half of these people wouldn't even make music if it wasn't for, you know, other artists making music. It's all about competition. It's all about drive. It's all about tenacity. It's all about grit. And, you know, not for nothing, it's all about inspiration. So let's go ahead and get into this, bro. This is Burden, true story. But before we get into this video, please make sure to smash that like button and that subscribe button for me, as it helps me to get into these algorithms, get in these YouTube streets. It's been a good month, man. It's been a lot of cool stuff happened this month, man. It's been fun, but as this month kind of comes to a close, I would say that we've already kicked off 2025 the right way. Wouldn't y'all? I mean, it's been fun. All right, let's do this, bro. Burden, true story. Yeah. All right, man. If y'all are ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it, y'all. What you got, Burden?
I got these memories of when I was only 8. Bedroom door was locked, my mom was being beat and screaming rape. Can he open the door? I want to, but I can't. In her boyfriend's trailer in the living room, his roommate doing crank. What the
All right, right off the rip, this is very, very serious. All right.
I got these memories of when I was only 8. Bedroom door was locked, my mom was being beat and screaming rape. Can he open the door? I want to, but I can't. In her boyfriend's trailer in the living room, his roommate doing crank. What the f are you doing? My mom was crying for help. That's when I learned what a coward was, something I never felt. I dialed 911 and I left the phone by itself. I wish that I had a gun, cause I would've sent them to hell. Sent everybody to hell. Then I remember the cops came and took them away. Tears in my mama's face, Lord knows how bad they must taste. And every time I think about it up to this day, the helpless little kid I was, it throws me into a rage. Spoke to my pops when I was 5. On the phone, I ain't know him as dad, so I called him Clyde. Guess me calling him by his name, it must have hurt his pride. All I heard was click, and that's the last I heard from him in life. But that ain't crazy. 14 was on probation, having suicidal thoughts in his voice. It came from Satan. Had a rope tied around a branch my puppy used to play with. And one day I wrapped that rope around my neck and started hanging. What the?
All right, hold up. This is his story. This isn't a make-believe story. I want to touch on a couple of things before we continue any further. Number one, we are a minute deep and we're already to 13 years old. I think that takes hellacious talent because I'm invested. Like, you know what I mean? And I thought about that myself as somebody that has like a I have one of those stories that, you know, I have a story that people want to hear. I have one of these types of stories that's like, if you knew what I have been through in my life to make it to where I am today, type stories. And I think to myself, as a creator, I think, where do you start? And if you start at the beginning, how do you make it to the meat and potatoes without losing everybody? So before we get any further, I want to salute that, because I don't even know where the meat and potatoes is yet, but he's doing a really good job of progressing the story without losing interest, which some people really struggle with, man. So I want to salute that. I think that's dope. Secondly, and I can't stress this one enough, I'm a mixtape guy. I grew up on mixtapes. Mixtapes were never mixed. They were never mastered. But mixtapes back in the mixtape era, that's where you got the real emotion, the real grit, the real, you got the real. And because you were getting the real, it was presented in a real way without the polished, clean, mixed, and master. And I appreciate that. I think that that's hard. And he's doing that. This is not like mixed, mastered material. This is raw grit, straight to the point. Don't even mix that. Don't even master it. Just put that out, bro. So they can get it how I presented it. Raw. You know what I mean? And I respect that too. I think that that's hard. Shout out to Burden, man. This is super, super dope. Not saying that your story going through all this pain and trauma was super dope, but hey, bro, it made you who you are, ain't it?
In his voice, it came from Satan. Had a rope tied around a branch my puppy used to play with. And one day I wrapped that rope around my neck and started hanging.
And I've been there too, man. Those whispers, that voice in your head, I attribute that to Satan myself, bro. I attribute that to the enemy. Before I got saved, man, I don't want to take away from the story that he's painting right here, but I understand that. And I understand, battling real demons and seeing it, hearing it, knowing what it is, and then surrendering to the opposite presence instead of surrendering to that presence, and knowing how powerful that surrender is. And when I did that, it's not like they dissipate. It's almost like they work harder, but you know that you got something stronger within you, so you're able to fight it.
What the f was I thinking? Mama see me through the window, she ran outside and saved me. Can't believe I really almost made her bury her baby. Blame it on rap music, yeah, too much Slim Shady. Swear to God, I used to go to church and feel like they hate me. But none of that was awful, is the night I lost Austin.
Me too, bro. I used to go to church and I would have like a G-Unit 50 Cent t-shirt or whatever, man, and I just felt like everybody up there hated me, bro. The kids loved me. But the parents, the pastors, the youth pastor, they didn't understand me. And they didn't understand how to deal with me. Because when you go through this type of traumatic experience, even as a teenager, you're a grown man that doesn't know how to be a grown man yet. You know how to process emotion like a grown man. But what you can't figure out is the maturity of the thought that goes into living over those emotions as you progress in life. And that's what creates a troublesome teen, Burden, this is good music, bro.
Bury her baby, blame it on rap music. Yeah, too much Slim Shady. Swear to God, I used to go to church and feel like they hate me. But none of that was awful, is the night I lost Austin. And it's been so long, I've never put this in a song like this. No, I never thought I'd break it down like this. No, so me and him were homies, like everyday homies. Like wake up every morning, probably calling, coming over. Like damn, we need some come up. Like damn, we need some money. Like hustle, hustle, hustle. Things was finally going right into the night. Until the night I see my dog die. Yeah, about a foot away from me. Brains blowed all over the wall, man. You couldn't imagine this shit, but listen. Look, couple of jits, couple of guns, right? Just f***ing around, f***ing with one, right? 12 gauge, we ain't know it was loaded. Suddenly it went off and the barrel exploded. I started screaming your name, but you're dead and I know it. They're slugging into your brain and then the blood just kept pouring. To me, this is a memory. To them, it's just horror. I ran outside, I called the police and I just stood on the porch.
Yo. Brother.
I heard the sirens, seen the lights, but I was numb. I didn't speak when they ran up pulling their guns. I just dropped to my knees and started crying. Said my best friend just died and then I pointed inside. Damn. Then of course when they questioned me I lied, but in the end I still got charged with manslaughter, homicide. I wish that I could tell you this was fiction, but it's not. Since I've been home from prison, music's the only thing I got.
Come on, brother.
Slaughter me and slander me, I don't give a man, that don't hurt me at all, nah. Like, y'all have no idea what the my life consisted of, and I don't know what the yours did either, like. For real, like, man, look, you can't look at someone and assume nothing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yo, I will say this, bro. Like, there ain't no rules in beef or whatever, man, but I know that Kasky kind of crossed that line with him, and I think that they're cool now from what I've heard, but, bro, he crossed the line. I don't even know the full extent of their beef or whatever, bro, but, and there ain't no rules. It ain't no rules, bro. There ain't no lines crossed, really, but
for real, people go through shit you never did in all walks of life all around the world. Just cause they smiling, that don't mean that they ain't hiding pain. Man, everybody's hiding pain. Like, man, everybody has shit they don't want people to know. Real talk. Man, I just think
and y'all keep in mind, too, that when he says music is the only thing that he's got, he means music was the only thing that he had. Because you come home from a scenario like that, home, everybody's already made their mind up about who you are. Everybody's made up their minds about who you're going to be. And everybody has their own idea about what you just did and what you went to prison for. So when he comes home, it ain't like he's celebrated. You know what I mean? That boy's been through hell, man.
Afraid to let you know who I am, share who I am with you, cause it's authentic, it's too real to be fake. You feel me? Like, man, if I can say one thing, it'd be, don't let your past determine your future.
Facts. And even on the back end of all that, tells you this whole story. On the back side of that, still tries to give you a source of inspiration to draw from. I salute. So he's saying with anybody else that might be going through this type of struggle or might be going through this type of pain in your life, I know that you feel like there is no other side of this, but I'm telling you that there is another side to this. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't live in a positive manner, that you can't change people's lives with what you've been through. I feel that in my heart because that's me. I do that. That's the whole, the only burden, if you're watching this, that's all we got. For people that have really struggled in life and people that have really been through hell and we've really crossed lines and made really nasty, terrible decisions that make us sick to our choices, or even when it just happens and it literally makes you sick to your stomach to think back on your past, but you still find the courage to bring it back up, to put it out there because you know in your heart of hearts that somebody else somewhere can be helped by it. That's the only way. That's the only thing that we can do. That's the only thing that we can do. That's our purpose. That's why people say all the time, like, if God loves you, how could he allow stuff like this to happen? On the other side of it, there's beauty. On the other side of it, there's beauty. I had a good friend, not a best friend. I had a good friend, when I was coming up in my teenage years, there was different people, I had like my best friends, my clique, my crew. And on the outside of that, there were just different people that we would run into sometimes, hang out with, party with or whatever. So this dude I wasn't superiorly close with, but it still blew my mind. Because you never know, man. You really don't. Like, hug the people you love. love them hard, and don't ever go to bed angry. I'll give y'all that advice. But there was this dude, and I'm not gonna put his name out there, but there was this guy that I used to hang out with pretty frequently, and I don't know, man. We all used to do pills. We all used to get high. You know what I mean? We all had tolerances. Like, it wasn't like he didn't have a tolerance. But there was just one morning I woke up and got a text from one of my best friends that was the mutual. Like, one of my best friends was best friends with him. So I hung out with him a lot, but we didn't connect like my homie and him did. But you know, he just got some Xanax one night, bro, and blew his brains out, man. I mean, took his own life. And it never made sense to me, bro. Like, it's kind of one of those situations, like, I cannot see that, bro. I can't see it. And I still can't. It's super sad, man, but you never know at the drop of a dime what might could happen. And then there was this other crew that we did not get along with. And there was this guy in that crew that, you know, from what I was told, they were the same kind of situation, like just kind of playing around with it. And they were playing Russian roulette and didn't realize the thing was loaded. And this dude just blew his brains out, man. Didn't mean to, you know what I mean? But in a drop of a dime, everything can change. That's some deep rooted trauma that I hope Burden is, you know, I've heard from different people Burden is a Christian. I think I've heard him say that too, but I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like true story, life story. You know, we gonna get to the root of the problem, maybe where he's overcome on the other side. But that's hard, bro. That's raw. That's gutter, and it's hard for. I even know with my story, when you're talking to thousands of people, that's very difficult to put your story out there and be vulnerable. You know, I still struggle with it. Y'all know pieces, y'all know parts that I've shared, but like to let your whole story be known, that's a very vulnerable situation to be in, man. So I salute him for having the balls to overcome the vulnerability and put it out there, especially in the form of music in such a raw manner like that. I salute that. I think that that's super hard. And not for nothing, man. It makes sense why he's had so much trouble with other artists or coming to with other artists, or seemingly so, because he's misunderstood. He's been misunderstood. That's a misunderstood situation that you can't make sense of. And this, not for nothing, is what you love about the underground, bro. The underground has so much vulnerability because they don't have I mean, no offense, Burden, but like they don't have a publicist to be like, you don't share that. Don't put that out. And that's why I love it. You know what I mean? And I love this. This is cool to me for him to be so vulnerable and to literally put I'm saying probably, I almost want to say most definitely his, what he feels is his worst mistake or his worst situation, and just putting it on a platter for all of us to consume. You know, I don't know if people think about that, you know, but artistically speaking, like in the beginning of the song, he talks about how music is all he has. Therapy ain't gonna work for something like that. A therapist isn't gonna understand. And when you've been through that type of trauma in your teenage years and in your younger years, by the time you get to the age to where you even seek out therapy, you already know in your mature mind, they're not going to understand what you're talking about. They're not going to understand that. They're not going to understand how to help you cope with that. So music is all he has. That is his therapy. It's the only thing that works in a therapeutic manner. And probably the fans giving him some type of, brother, I see you. Prayers to you, like, yeah, that helps, but he still has to live with that every night, man. He probably still has nightmares about it. I still have nightmares from my past, and I haven't even seen anything that traumatic in my face. You know, I know of stories around people, like I said, that I connected with or that I have relationships with. I know about those stories, but to see it in your face, to be the cause of it, and to admittedly say you're the cause of it musically, takes a lot of balls. So in the competitive realm of everything, which I know that this song wasn't for competitive purposes, but in the realm of competition, I'll tell you this, don't nobody got balls like Burden. Nah, because you're, and in the midst of like going at people like Caskey or going at Tom McDonald or going at whoever, like in the midst of all of that, you're also opening yourself up to be dissed about this. Like I said, man, I feel like that's such a touchy situation. I don't know if I would touch on that as a battle rapper, but it is all, you know, there is no lines that can be crossed in battle rap. Not if your intent is to hurt the other person, which unfortunately a lot of times that is the case. It gets taken further than competition. Sometimes people just really don't like each other. Things get said and switch flips, and you know, it is what it is. But Burden, I do want you to know, man, that I appreciate this. I appreciate this greatly as somebody who loves music and somebody that's been through so much turmoil and trauma in my own life. A lot also that's been self-inflicted. Like, I would love to say, so many people talk about like what has happened to them and how that's the source of why they've been through so much trauma. People like me and Burden, we got to take that on the chin because it's our own fault. A lot of times, you know. Yeah, I've had some really, really crappy cards dealt to me, but I also made a lot of real bad mistakes and lot of really bad decisions that in all are kind of embarrassing and not really worthy of sharing, because I don't want, you know, there's just certain stuff you're too vulnerable about. And the fact that he put that out there just takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength and a lot of balls. And I appreciate that. I think that that's hard. You got a fan out of me, bro. You got a fan out of me. Anyways, man, that's about all I got to say on the matter. I thought that this was incredible, an incredible piece of art. He rapped really well. The singing, the melodic part of it was really good. And he did a really good job with the video and the visuals of kind of bringing you into the story and making you see what he wanted you to see. And I thought this was incredible. What an incredible piece of art. I'm sure that after he released this in a sick and sadistic, twisted way, a lot of labels started calling him probably. Like, oh, we can market your story. It's like, nah, dog, I'm cool. Thank you. I think I can do it on my own. But nah, this was good. This was really good. It was a really good piece of art. He rapped really well. The melodic part was good. The beat was good. I like how it was presented in a raw manner instead of a clean, polished, produced manner. It's dope, bro. This was good. It was really good. It really brought you to it and made you feel it in your heart. 10 out of 10. If we're talking about stories, like storytelling, yeah, that's a 10. That's a 10. It's really good. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new. And I will see y'all on the next one. All right. Peace.